Think of the last person who made your jaw tighten. Not a monster, a colleague, a sibling, a voice at a dinner table, doing the thing they always do. And something in you went hard, out of all proportion. You have probably done the exercise about this. You found the trait, you traced it back to yourself, you admitted it was yours, and you are still you. This video is about why nothing changed. Because the reason is not that you did the exercise badly, it is who was doing it. Carl Jung called it the shadow. Everything you had to disown to become the person you present. Not only the ugly parts, anything that did not fit. Ambition in a family that prized modesty. Softness in a house that prized strength. None of it disappears. It goes underground, and it comes back out through a side door called projection. You do not see your own disowned ambition in yourself. You meet it in the self-promoter across the room, and you despise it there. On this much, the standard advice is genuinely sound. Notice the disproportionate reaction. Ask what it knows about you. Trace it home. There's an entire industry built on that move now. The journals, the prompts, the 30-day programs, the printable list of traits with a checkbox beside each one. Shadow work as a worksheet. And to be fair, the worksheet is not lying to you. The trait usually is yours. That part works. Here is the claim the rest of this video must earn. The exercise fails at the exact moment it succeeds. You complete it, trait found, origin traced, ownership admitted, and the completing is itself the problem, because the result is handed straight back to the same authority that buried the trait in the first place. For now, hold one suspicious question. Who, exactly, is reading the list? Every inventory has an inventory keeper. Every confession has an editor deciding what may be confessed. The popular version of shadow work treats the shadow as contempt, items to be discovered and integrated one by one, like debts being paid down. If that were true, the most self-aware people you know would also be the most changed. Look around. Is that what you see? Something else is going on. And to see it, you first have to watch the exercise work perfectly. So, watch it work, because it does work at first. You spot the self-promoter, the one who cannot let a conversation end without a small advertisement for himself, and the contempt is instant and total. Disproportionate, which is the tell. You sit with it, because you have learned to sit with things, and eventually the trade happens. You remember how carefully you manage your own modesty, how much staging goes into appearing to need no stage. The contempt was your own, exiled, wanting to be seen, wearing his face. And here is the moment that matters. When you admit that, something releases. The charge drops. He becomes almost likable. You feel lighter, cleaner, more honest. You feel changed. That feeling is real. And it is also the trap, because relief is not transformation. Relief is what the system pays you for filing the case. So, you file more cases. Envy of a friend's easy marriage, traced, name, filed. The streak of cruelty in your humor, acknowledged, filed. The need to be the reasonable one in every room. That one is by now extensively documented. The catalog thickens, and with it comes a new fluency. You can narrate your own machinery better than anyone who actually knows you. You can predict your own failures with real accuracy. Describe them while they happen. Apologize for them in advance. The prediction changes nothing. The description changes nothing. Ask yourself honestly, has the narration ever once stopped an episode while it was happening? Or does it arrive afterward, polished, like a report on a fire that was allowed to burn to the ground? Somewhere in this stage, self-awareness quietly changes jobs. It stops being a window and becomes a credential. Watch how people deploy it. I know I interrupt, spoken mid-interruption. I am aware I need control, offered as the opening move for taking it. The confession runs ahead of the flaw and clears the road for it. Awareness becomes a license. Since the toll has been named, surely the driving may continue. You have met this person. If the room goes quiet enough, you have been this person. The friend whose flaws arrive pre-approved by their own commentary. Immaculately mapped, entirely intact. This is the end state of shadow work done as inventory. A person with perfect files and an unchanged life, kinder in description than in practice. Defended now, not by denial, but by documentation. Denial at least knew it was hiding something. And the strangest part is that every entry in those files is accurate. The exercise did not fail for lack of truth. Hold on to that, because it is the door into everything that follows. There is a version of this that sounds like good news. You find the trait you cannot stand in someone else. You trace it back, you admit it is yours, and the charge goes out of it. Tidy, reassuring, the kind of insight that fits on a card. But that is where most people stop, and stopping there is what makes it useless. Because the shadow is not a list of traits you have not admitted to yet. It is the part of you that is doing the not admitting, and that part, the one running the operation, deciding what is allowed into the light and what is kept out of it, does not appear on any list you write about yourself. So, what happens when the thing you are looking for is the thing doing the looking? You get very good at the exercise and no different as a person. You can name your envy, your cruelty, your need to be seen as reasonable, and still be governed by every one of them, because naming was never the same as meeting. The catalog becomes one more way of staying in charge. This is the turn, and it is uncomfortable in the way real turns are. The work is not to find the material. Most of us can find the material before lunch. The work is to stop being the one who decides what the material means. And notice what may have just happened. If some part of you has already begun taking notes, good point, another blind spot into the file, then you have watched the whole problem happen live. The operation absorbed the description of the operation without breaking stride. This is why the turn cannot simply be thought through. Thinking is the operator's home ground, and every insight you collect there becomes furniture in the same locked room. You cannot catalog your way past the cataloger. So if naming is not the work, what would meeting actually look like? Smaller than you want it to, and considerably less flattering. The shadow does not keep appointments in your journal. It shows up live or not at all. In the half-second flinch when a piece of feedback lands too close. In the joke that came out with an edge you will have explained away by bedtime. In the sulk you are currently calling tiredness. Meeting it is what happens when you stay inside one of those moments without reaching for the frame. Someone tells you what you just did, and their version is worse than yours, and for once you do not correct the record. You let their reading of you stand, unedited, for one whole minute, while everything in you drafts the rebuttal. That restraint is not humility as a virtue. It is humility as an event, something that happens to the operator against its will, because the material was never going to mean what your entry says it means. It means what it costs the people in range of it. They hold the accurate file, and consulting it feels exactly like losing. That is how you know it is the real one. Now go back one last time to the person who made your jaw tighten. The irritation was true information. It pointed at freight you actually carried. But the change you wanted was never on the far side of naming that freight. It begins the first time the verdict is taken out of your hands and you decline to take it back. The shadow, in the end, is not what you have hidden. It is the hiding, and it does not weaken when it is described. It weakens when it is interrupted. So, do not file this away. That would be the one wrong use of the last 9 minutes. A new card, beautifully awarded, added to the collection of the very operator it describes. You will forget most of these sentences by tomorrow, and that is fine. Keep the question instead. The next time your jaw tightens at someone, before the explanation arrives, while the heat is still moving, ask yourself, what verdict am I protecting right now? You will not like the answer. Not liking it is the work, and staying there, outvoted, is the change. Everything before that moment was preparation. If you want somewhere to practice, there is a short guide linked below called The Mirror. It is free. It is not a list of traits, and it will add nothing to your catalog. It is 7 questions, asked slowly, that show you how much of your life the part you exiled is already deciding, which, by now, you know is the point.